810 brought to you live on TVC Channel 40 on the cable network. This is Island Tea, and it's the invisible man and the pretty lady. Good morning. What's up?
Good morning. I am trying my best to be my best. What about you?
I'm good.
All right. So good morning to the Federation, the regional and international diaspora. It's always our pleasure to come into your homes from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Go tell a friend to tell your friend that we are on TVC Channel 40. Sorry, they're still working on getting the antenna fixed at Otley's level. So bear with us, but you can find us on TVC Channel 40. You can find us on Twitch. You can find us on Facebook and also on YouTube. So we are on, we're live, and we are cracking. So Jamsa, what's on your mind as we begin the morning?
I didn't hear it, but I heard that the Prime Minister gave an address last night. You know about that?
No, I didn't hear it I didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear anything? Okay.
No,
Well, I hope it happened, because
I was quite busy.
I went for a jog, and I asked my wife if she was going to listen, and she said no.
Oh boy, so all of us missed it then?
And when I came home, I think when I came home just before 8. So,
anywhere we can find it now, or?
Well, yeah, we can probably find it online somewhere.
Okay, because I'm looking here at the news, and I see that 4 persons are in custody that are investigating.
Yeah.
That that are assisting with the investigation of the homicide at New Road.
Yeah, I was given some information on that, but I don't really want to. I'll tell you off the air.
Yeah, please don't.
Because you know how.
Yeah.
You know how sensitive the authorities are.
Yeah, and we don't want to.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to be mindful because everybody's listening. When we think persons aren't listening, everybody is listening.
And I forgot to say yesterday. I remember the day of agricultural exhibition.
Mm-hmm.
I went back over there to get something to eat, like after 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was the one I ended up buying it from.
Oh.
I think it was bullfoot soup or something.
Oh.
Was it bullfoot soup or cook up?
Oh boy.
Might have been cook up.
Mm.
No, it was cook up. No, it was bullfoot soup.
Okay, Jamsa, you can't remember what you ate,
yeah.
but you got something.
Because she had both,
Mm-hmm.
and I was there waffling, trying to decide which one to,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was good. It was very good, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
And she had a kind of a line there, so I had to wait.
Yeah, boy. Everywhere you go, that there's food, there's always a line.
Yeah, I didn't even know she did. I didn't even know she cooked.
Oh, me neither.
Oh,
Yeah. And look at this headline too. Brantley implores New Visions to stop littering. What did we speak about littering? And when I think about this, right? I think if we eat something or we open a sweet or a chocolate, are we gonna drop the paper in our house? Because who's gonna have to pick it up?
Us.
Exactly. So why are we messing up outside? We have this.
And
We
the thing
constantly have this conversation.
And the thing is, even if you drop it in your house, you're probably gonna pick it up, right?
Yeah, but you're not gonna drop it and not gonna look back at it.
Yeah, like if I'm eating something, say that's in a wrapper.
Yeah, and it inadvertently drops.
Oh, I might put it on the coffee table and say, okay, after maybe during the commercial break, I'll go and put it in the garbage or something, like that. Yeah, so I take your point. Yeah, so I heard him talking about people throwing stuff.
Yeah, they have to take care of the place.
Out the windows.
It's crazy.
And I think about my days, like, much younger, when I used to do stuff like that. And, like, I was like, God, what was I thinking?
Yeah. And you felt so guilty if you did it, because it's like...
Well, you feel guilty now. At the time,
I wouldn't do it.
You weren't thinking about plastic pollution and just littering. And,
sometimes I prick myself because I'll take staples out of things and I'll put the staple in my pocket and I'll forget, and then I put my hand back in there. And
yes, me too.
I'll be like,
I walk around with banana peels and granola bar wrappers
in your pocket
for hours until I get home. No, seriously.
Oh boy, yeah, because you don't want
and empty bottles and stuff like that. I walk around.
But the banana peel, you just find a nice plant and you leave it right there. Just put it down nicely because it's manure.
But then I'm thinking about so that could work. But then, in terms of dropping it on, there are 2 considerations. One, you could make somebody exactly, and then the second one is just littering, just on principle.
The whole
Shouldn't
point.
be, right?
Yeah. I never understand. Just like Carnival, everybody just drops everything because they know the cleaners are right behind them. But come on, be empathetic to the cleaners. You think the cleaners, you palanting and enjoying yourself. You're only going to feel the effects of your foot until everything would have worn off. Think about the cleaners that have to walk behind you all this way, feeling all everything.
Balance.
Okay.
Balance.
But I just think it's unfair. We need to be more considerate.
Yeah,
and we
and
need to have pride in what's ours.
I never understood that attitude.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have it like, well, people. I said no, that doesn't mean you should make it harder for them.
Exactly.
I don't understand. That's a wild mentality to me.
Yeah.
That's a bananas mentality, no pun intended. But yeah, oh well, they're gonna clean it up. So yeah, make it worse for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's like saying, oh, we have police, so we may as well commit crime. Well, no, I mean it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes sense.
Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing?
We are doing our best. What about you? Hope you're feeling much better today.
Thank you very much. I am feeling better. Thank you. I still had a long day yesterday. Trust me, believe it or not. But I hope that everyone is doing well. You guys were talking about.
So you're talking to the judge through your nose?
No, it was a magistrate court matter.
So you're talking to the judge through your nose then?
I was speaking with my mouth.
Yeah, but I mean, were you sounding nasally and
No, I don't think so.
And
I
you're-
think it was more like,
blowing your nose? I mean, like blowing your nose in between words and so on?
oh no, not that.
Oh.
You see how I'm talking here?
Okay.
It's exactly the same way I was talking. So what were you guys speaking about before?
Trash.
Oh, trash.
Literally trash. People
Oh.
littering because Mr. Brantley is asking divisions to stop the littering. People are throwing trash out the windows. I could imagine with the impending Culturama 50, how trashy it's going to be over there. And I don't mean the celebrations people. I mean just people dropping trash thinking the cleaners are going to come behind us.
Terrible.
And that's not nice. And I was even talking about the grill fest. The cleaners tried to do their best, but there was still a little trash that was around. I'm saying if there are bins all over, then persons can just try their best, you know. Just find a bin, drop it in. Look at that. Find a bin and drop it in.
Oh, you have
A whole tagline right there. So we
Well,
can keep the place
aren't you
clean.
the tagline of this morning? Find a bin and
drop it in.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, someone might run with that. You know, you said it
It's
on
alright.
television.
It's,
on TV, and you
and
say it on radio,
radio,
and
yeah.
you say it on the streaming
Mhm.
platforms.
I collect the royalties.
Because we just need to take pride in stuff. As we were saying, Azard, we won't open something intentionally, like a candy or something, and just drop it on our floor at home. Because if it drops, eventually, we have to pick it up. Because
Yes.
that's not becoming of us to live in filth. So why do we mess up outside and then we say, oh, we give it somebody a walk? No. That person needs a break too.
Yeah.
So we have to be mindful of what we're doing.
Shouldn't even go that far. It's just the principle. You shouldn't be littering in the first place.
Yeah, and to see you throwing it out your window, what if that hits
Yeah.
somebody, or if that hits the impending vehicle behind and then obscures the person's view? Oh my gosh.
But for whatever reason, that must have struck a nerve. So, okay.
Yeah.
On to the next. Caller, go right ahead. Island T, good morning.
Yes, good morning, the great
Uh-huh.
tree.
Good morning, how are
Good
you?
morning.
I'm good, man. Once I could hear you all, I'm good.
Oh, good stuff.
You all are doing great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I want to send my condolences to, what's her name, the girl, Roberts,
Yes.
Sandra Roberts,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to the family of Sandra Roberts, and all who passed away in this violent state. It is not nice. And I and other people, a lot of people, we have been talking about this kind of criminal activity that's been going on for years. And it seemed like it passed across those who could do something about it, like a tornado. And now it's a shame to see. Right now we are in 50-something homicide in less than 2 years. It's a shame. And only now the leader of the country gonna come on the radio and say what he want to say. And this kind of thing what was uttered that they're gonna do, stop and search. I have no problem with stop and search. But they can't go in people's house, go talk about they come check your house to see what in there. No, they cannot do that. All of that is against the law.
But what if they have a warrant? What if they have a warrant to
If they
search?
have a warrant,
Yes.
well, if they have a warrant, the warrant follow the law.
Okay.
What do
But they
you
can
what
have
do
to tell
you
me when they
think?
come and consult before they open my door.
Yes. So
Okay.
before you continue too, yes, because the Prime Minister gave his address last night. I thought that did persons here get an opportunity to listen to it?
No.
Okay.
We were
yes.
just talking about that earlier too.
Oh,
No, we
okay.
didn't.
No, I didn't get a chance neither to listen to
Okay.
it.
So I
Okay.
listened to part. I listened to it. Let me say I didn't listen to part. I listened to it in its entirety. I do have to go through it again to listen to all the points again because sometimes you have to listen things over. And
Right.
he spoke about a national security council in which he's in charge of, and at the end of it, he spoke about a national symposium on crime, inviting all stakeholders and political parties as well to join in and give their points. When I thought about a national symposium on crime, I thought that yes, that's something to do, but I don't think sometimes that these symposiums are as effective as they ought to be. Most times you go to these symposiums and you say you invite the political parties, but I think there needs to be some sort of internal discussion. I mean, at one point in time, the People's Action Movement extended the offer to sit down and negotiate, and in a kind of in a setting like that, I think in a setting where when you meet with the Prime Minister and you have discussions, I think that those types of settings are more effective. Usually, when you go to symposium, there's food, there's a lot of persons, and there's a lot of discussion. But hardly are these plans implemented.
Okay, Azard,
Mm-hmm.
and all three. Now, from the time Dr. Joe get in the office, he keep driving forward, looking back. You mean to tell me from the time he get in here, he been opening him out saying, in 7 years, the Team Unity government was in administration, and they have done nothing? Nothing? With all what they did, he gonna have the daring guts and balls to come on the radio come say they did nothing in 7 years? That's a big lie. From the opening of the sun rising, and now he coming talking about all political parties should come together. And every time he open him out, he cussing Timothy and the farm administration, cussing them, say they ain't do nothing. So why he coming talking about all political parties must come together? He never know that all the time. And stop travel. Stop travel and do and dispose the police dispose the police them where they supposed to go. Too many police around here. Why you be a minefield? If the police them was out there on the street doing what police should do, walk, go to the communities, get friendly, get to know the people them, and get friendly with everybody, show respect, and they will show you respect, and talk to them. But instead of that, you want on him for what? It's bad, so. Mr. Bradshaw never had not one police guarding him. Mr. Bradshaw had a police to go for your wife, carry her to her job, carry your daughter to school and pick her up. But Mr. Bradshaw walk all over St. Kitts. He won. And drive any time of the night, he won. He wasting the resources of the police, putting them where they're not supposed to be. I against this killing, and I've been talking about it all the time. They need to find the source of where these guns coming in. But when they're supposed to be out there looking to see where these guns could come in illegally, they're somewhere doing something else. And they're not supposed to let nobody get by, regardless of what position you have or what your name. If you come in by ear and support, check everything and search them. Search them, don't give anybody no chance. The heart of man desperately wicked, and they will do anything to get through. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you for your contribution. Yes, I too want to extend my condolences to all those who have fallen, especially over the past year. And, the recent murder, the most recent one, I think a very popular individual, Miss Roberts, I knew her and I want to extend my sympathies and condolences to the families. In addition to that, I want to extend my condolences and sympathies to the family of Anthony Morgan of Half a Tree, who is going to be laid to rest this afternoon. And so I do want to express my sympathies. We have a call.
Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to everybody. How are we doing?
We're good, Miss Henry. What about you?
Wonderful.
You're giving God thanks for life, man.
Amen.
Life is precious, you know.
It is.
Some of us don't think so. You know, and I was thinking this morning about this story with Jehoshaphat in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
When he felt he couldn't do anything, he was surrounded. He took his letter with all the threat of the enemy to the altar, the temple, and he laid down and said, Lord, you know, they're more than us. We can't do anything, but our eyes are on you. That is where we are, we should be. God, they seem to be not letting up. So right now, it's only God could help us. I am calling to send happy birthday greetings to my first granddaughter, Paula Henry. So Paula, happy birthday from your granny and all of the family, the uncles, the aunties, the cousins, by the dozens. I love you. Keep your head up. And remember, it is God who brought you where you are, and he will take you further if you put your trust in him. Happy birthday again, Paula. Love you, love you, love you. All right.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Henry.
And do have a happy birthday,
To her.
Paula.
That's her granddaughter, she said?
Mhm.
Okay, happy birthday, Paul.
Yes. So we've had, and that's why I said,
Another call.
Oh, we have another call.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Island T,
caller.
you're on here.
Yes.
Good morning to everybody.
Hey.
Good
Hi,
morning,
good
Greg.
morning. Gregory.
In Jesus' name.
Mm.
I
Greetings.
would like to also extend my condolences and sympathies to all the families and friends of all who have been named, including the girl, the lady, Sandra Roberts, and also, like I said, all who also have been named as well, and alluded to as well.
Mm.
Now, I listened to a clip of what the Prime Minister said. A clip of it is on Everton Obi Powell Facebook page.
You could also find it on WinFM's Facebook page in relation to his address yesterday.
Oh,
Just to
the
say
clip
that.
is there as well? Okay, very good. And based upon the clip, the things that he said he's going to do to counter what is going on, I will say here right now, it's really in the end going to be counterproductive, because all that he said as how he's going to deal with the situation are contrary to the Bible. And they have been tried before, and they haven't done what they were supposed to do. Instead, they have been counterproductive.
Okay,
Because we're still in the situation.
Okay, Gregory. So,
Mhm.
what has the Bible suggested?
Well, the Bible ain't suggest anything. It instructs and commands.
What
And
did the
instructs
Bible
and commands
instruct?
us.
What did the Bible
And
instruct?
yes, it instructs and commands us that.
Yes, and I'm asking you, what does
One.
it say?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. One, based upon the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses, the murderers are to be executed publicly. Justice is supposed to be swift, and cases are supposed
Where
to be
in the
done
Bible do you
open
see that?
public.
Where in the Bible do you see that? From where do which passage are you referring to?
Well, for example, one of the passages you read from Exodus chapter 21 to chapter 23, and you see references there of how to deal with murderers and other sort of stuff.
Okay, then.
That is number one.
Okay, Gregory. Yeah, Gregory, another person has joined the
Hi,
line.
good
Go ahead.
morning.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Gregory, hold on, Gregory. Someone else is there. Good morning. Is this Jackie?
Hello?
Hey, good morning. Is this Jackie?
Oh, you know my name.
I know your voice.
Morning.
Yes, morning.
I would like to send out my condolences to Pamela Roberts and son, and I just asking Pamela to be strong. Think about the good time you and your daughter had when she was around. Okay? So you just be strong, and this could happen to anybody, okay? That only come with name when you face it. So, and culture, if Prime Minister Jew invite all the political party, that is all good. I guess maybe he coming into his right senses now, because all the Prime Minister in St. Kitts ever had under Team Unity, the crime went down the lowest. So if he advises them and give him no good advice, he got to turn to the right people. So it's all good. Okay? So I will advise them to go. It ain't about Jew and the Labour Party. It's all about St. Kitts and the people. Okay? Because the crime went down low, and you know it is so. If you call him, I go. Go for the best interest for the country and the people. And again, Pamela, you be strong, okay? And this is Ja. Okay? All right. And Sandra, rest in peace. You was a very popular girl, in spite of all what people going to say. You was very popular, and nobody know what with tomorrow may bring. And all you have a blessed and a safe day.
Thank you.
Thank you, you too.
Jackie. Gregory, you still there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that culture spoke about Bratcher
Mm-hmm.
being able to traverse the island here alone. But you see, what culture did not mention was that during Bratcher's time, hanging used to happen. You see, and it really was very effective against.
But how many persons were hung realistically during that time, Gregory?
Yeah, simply because hanging kept people in line. So therefore.
Oh, we have another person on the call, Gregory. Hold on.
Yes.
Caller?
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, good morning to you guys, man.
Hey, good
Hey,
morning, Burl. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jamster, I'm gonna probably need to talk to you off the air. You know, well, first of all, this crime situation in the Federation is out of control. I want to put in a plug to encourage the young people, especially the young men, to move away from the life of crime and to seek to go down the positive path and to be and to be progressive and productive in society. Yeah, right now, maybe, who knows, maybe the Prime Minister is coming to his senses, like that lady said just a while ago. But this is a national issue that needs everybody's input. And I would encourage the other parties to get involved if the Prime Minister is inviting them on board, and whatever meetings and stuff that they can have to try to put their heads together. That's very much needed at this time. And that's all I really want to say about that. I just wish the Federation the best of luck going forward to try to get this crime situation down. And the people in the communities, they got to understand. They got to take back their communities. You know, as we can see, you know, I'm going to put up my condolences to that family who just lost that lady. And, you know, it appears to me that this was a brutal killing. And we got to pay attention to the reality. The reality is the crime is happening. Gun murders is the homicide, the gun murders is on the increase. And it seems like it's getting more and more violent. You know what I mean? We got to pay attention to that. We saw what happened in Haiti. Don't think for 1 minute that what's been happening in Haiti cannot happen in St. Kitts and Nevis and the rest of the Caribbean. It's heading there. And we got to take a radical approach. The government got to take a radical approach. Law enforcement got to get radical like Jamaica. That's one thing I like about Jamaica. When cops shows up for bad boys, it's just going to be a shootout. And that might be an approach we might have to take. Who knows? The big stick approach, some people don't like it, but we might have to take that approach. You know, these gangsters got to be kept in check, man. Otherwise, they're going to overrun our society. Sooner or later, you guys who's coming to the island T, y'all may not be able to watch them doors if it gets that bad. So we got to pay attention to what's going on, the reality what's going on the ground. The people, their mentality and their attitude got to change. In order for this sustainable island state to be successful, the individuals got to play their part. We got to look. We got to look at ourselves in the mirror and start there. The citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis got to make the changes in order to be effective and productive. Some people don't want to work; they want to get paid, and they don't want to put in the work. Somebody got to put in the work. We got to put the work in, man, to quell this crime and take our communities back. And I just want to say thanks again, man, for listening to me. Johnson, I'm going to have to holler at you off the air. I'm going to put it out there straight this morning. I'm going to be in the Federation on Saturday, and I'm going to be around hopefully for 3 weeks if God spare my life. And persons that want to reach out to I&I, you know, my number again on WhatsApp is 1-862-218-6422. I'd very much like to maybe get a chance to maybe come to the studio and meet you guys. So
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
My number right there. If
Absolutely.
you can reach out to me, take it off the air. I'll be happy, man, to make an
No
appearance.
problem, bro.
Absolutely.
All
That'd be
right, bro.
great.
Looking forward to that.
Yes.
Okay, you guys have a good day. Thanks
You
a
too,
lot.
bro.
You too.
Yes.
Greg, go ahead.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, and let me also say, during Bratcher's time, the gun laws were nowhere near as strict as they are today. And people did have guns, and yet the crime was very, very low.
People have different mentalities, Greg.
Well, and the
Technology wasn't so advanced, so
Yep.
they
Yeah.
could have, you know,
And-
to have schemes. You had to have
yeah.
met. You had
Yeah.
to go in person.
Yeah.
And
No,
they-
you could
and-
talk on the phone.
Yeah. And
And-
pray
and-
that nobody's watching your conversation threads.
and there was a greater remove from the you could say the deleterious effects of American culture. Okay, let me say Western culture. I don't want to dump on the Americans, but you see what I mean. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have cable at the
Yeah.
time, probably.
Yeah, we didn't have
And-
Yeah.
It was a lot easier.
No, but hold on. But there are countries today. There are countries today that have that allows the citizens to have and own guns and carry guns. There are such areas, and the crime is very low, very, very low compared to other places and areas.
Greg,
Yeah.
everybody we see how a lot of persons in America own guns legally, and the children still take those legal guns and commit heinous crimes, like taking the lives of many other kids.
Are you
So-
proposing, therefore, Gregory, that we should we do allow persons, once you qualify to have
Yes.
licensed firearm, do you think that that should be expanded? Are you saying that the threshold should be lowered to provide persons greater access to legal to guns and to qualify as legal owners of guns? Is that what you're proposing?
Okay, first of all, I'm going to answer that. But the lady who just made a comment, that thing about children taking guns and killing people is a very rare thing in America.
Rare?
Not only that, but
Well,
hello?
try and tell
No,
that.
man, Greg, man,
Try
no.
and tell
Greg,
that to
no.
the
Jesus gonna get
families
you,
who
Greg.
lost people.
Jesus gonna get you, Greg. That's not rare.
It is a very, as a matter of fact, what is this stat?
Well,
As
Greg,
far as I
Greg,
know.
I
Greg,
don't
how
think.
many people take
But Greg, the
legal guns and
stats.
commit
Okay,
We don't
illegal
have we
crimes?
don't have to straight up give you
What is
stats.
this
No, it's
Oh my
objective fact that
God.
what she said is
Greg, it is true. It's out there. I didn't put it out there.
What is this stat?
The fact is that the parents take up the kids take up the parents' legal guns once their lockbox aren't locked and commit crimes with it,
I just
taking the lives of so many children.
Yes, that do happen. Yes, that do happen. But what I'm saying, that is a very low thing in America.
Okay, Greg, if that's low,
Okay,
Tell
we
that
have
to the parents
we,
that-
we have
that-
another caller.
that might
Uh-huh.
think differently.
But what I'm saying, that is why the Bible never gave
Hello?
government.
Yes.
Hi,
Hi.
Cleo. Good
Go ahead.
morning.
Cleo,
How
good
are you?
Go ahead, Cleo.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Greg, take a break. now, now coming to the Prime Minister suppression, his three things that he put out there. First, he needs to start by suppressing the border, land, sea, and air. That's where they need to start, because remember, we do not manufacture gun in SK.
Oops.
So it's coming through the border.
Mhm.
And like somebody said, search every briefcase, every suitcase, because then we all know. And we all see every day when you go in SK Airport that the locals, when they're coming in, they get searched, but some people just come in and walk down and go out, and nothing for them is being searched. And that goes for the politician too. Trust nobody. That goes for the politician too. Everybody needs to be searched. And when you bring anything to the seaport, only certain people things get searched. Certain people things do not get searched because their stuff gets open at midnight when everybody else is asleep. So all those things are questionable. When you're gonna talk about suppress this and suppress that, you need to start with suppressing land, sea, and air. That need the toughest suppression. That's where you need to start. No, when and these things, right? The thing what gets me right is that they implement these stuff, and it's like the 9-day syndrome. Oh, we're gonna search every car. We're gonna stop and search, but that's only for a couple of days. After that, it dwindled down to nothing.
Yep.
We're going to remove things from all the vehicle. They've been trying to remove things from our vehicle since Whoopi killed Philip. And the people put them right back on. So to that's just a waste of energy and time. You need to come up with some harder, some tougher ways to conquer this thing.
But I don't think people are afraid of the tougher ways, Cleo. Or what do you think? Because if gun crime...
Well, again, the word of God said man's heart is desperately wicked. And as time go on...
It's going to get worse.
Man's heart gets even more desperately wicked. It gets worse. Remember, nowadays, people are not afraid. Look me, I am 50. How old am I, God? Sometimes I forget and all. I am 58 years old, I'm 57 years old, and just the thought of killing somebody blows my mind. I would not even think of that.
Yep.
If I cut you as I see blood, I'll probably run because I will be afraid.
Yes.
Nowadays, people are not afraid. Some people are not afraid to just watch somebody and kill somebody. The mind, it all starts in the mind.
Yep.
No wonder the word of God said, let this mind be in you as it is in Christ Jesus. Because these people have those warped mind because they don't have a Christ-like mind.
Yeah.
That's why they can just get up and kill without nothing. Because their mind is of the devil, it's not of Christ.
Yeah, but Cleo, Greg likes to say if we run the countries according to the Bible, all will be well. But do you really think we can implement such a thing at this juncture in life?
And will that you stone murderers, but he's not saying how you determine who the murderers are. Persons aren't coming and saying, I did this. You still have to have a trial, and through the trial, you still have to go through the necessary legal procedure. So he's given an outcome without showing how to get to that.
What you call a fanatic. He's a fanatic. He's way out there.
Oh boy.
He's just way out there. That to put somebody in this square and stone them to death is ridiculous. Nobody do those things anymore.
Exactly.
That's why we have laws.
Yep.
That's why Jesus had to come, because we couldn't live under law. If we were under law, there would be nobody walking on earth. We couldn't be under the way how the law was set up. If you erred once, you're dead. There was no chance. That's why Jesus had to come so we can have grace.
Exactly. That's why he had to come
again. The way how Greg wants to go about stuff is a little bit out there. And Greg has to realize we're living in the real world, Greg. And the other day he talked about choice. Yes, God do give us a choice, Greg. He said, choose ye this day whom you will serve. You hear who he said? He didn't come and demand you to serve me. No, he said, choose ye this day. Pick, you have a choice. And it's sad to say some people pick evil over good. And again, we go back to the word of God. But in any case, I pray for the country. I pray for, the family that are grieving. I pray God give them the strength to face what they are going through, because, and again, the mind. People, I feel like people are snapping, people are snapping all over the world. People mind are going. I mean, when I listen to, I read on Facebook, a 12-year-old suffocate her 8-year-old cousin. Where in the world do at 12-year-old you get those thoughts to put a pillow over your little cousin's face and suffocate her? Where? Tell me it's not the mind. The enemy of our soul have infiltrated the mind of people. But in any case, let me give a big shout out to my baby, my sweetheart, my best friend, my lover, my husband of 37 years today. Happy anniversary, my
Aw.
baby Theo.
Oh, happy anniversary to both of
Happy-
you.
Happy birthday anniversary,
I
Cleo.
just wanted to, I love you, I love you, I love you. Have a good day, guys.
Yes,
You
have
too.
a
Same
wonderful
to you.
day, Cleo. Happy
Enjoy your anniversary.
Same to you.
Yes.
Okay, we gotta take a break, but
Yes.
let's caller go right ahead. Oh, this is not Greg. Greg, is it you?
No.
Okay.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr.
Good.
Gumbs.
Good
Greg.
morning.
Yeah.
Good
How
morning.
you doing?
Good morning. Good.
It's been a while. I was asked you about this number, how to get in, but I just tried and I finally got it.
Good.
Oh,
stuff.
this is Lester. Lester, how are you?
Yes. I'm blessed.
Yes.
I wanted to say something about what Greg was saying, but first I wanted to give my condolences to the family of the lady that passed a few days ago. I never realized, while speaking to my sister, when she mentioned the name, then I realized that she stayed by me in Brooklyn a few years ago, she and her daughter. So I want to send my condolences to her daughter and any family members that she has remaining. It's so sad, you know.
Lester,
A concern, yes,
what's your last name?
Henry.
Okay, I thought you were, I thought you were another Lester. When you said Brooklyn, somebody I used to visit. I used to visit their home at as a kid, so I was wondering if it was you. Okay.
No. Yeah. When we talk about being stoned, it was not just because they had committed a crime. The scripture, what the message of the scripture was sending is to send fear. And you know, just like when Jesus Christ was crucified, it was the Romans had a way of, you know, capital punishment was done in public places. I think certain places in the Middle East still do it. It was sort of a way to send fear in people's heart to prevent them from committing crime. That was the message, you know. It was done in public place. The stoning was just another form of the method of committing carrying out the capital punishment. He had and Jesus Christ died on the cross. Romans had a way of that. The Jewish way was to stone you to death. That was another way, you know. But it was just to send a message. We used to hang people, you know, it was done in a secret place, and then you hear that this person was hanged, you know. We have to find out, yes, we have to ascertain, get all the information and make sure the person was guilty. And after they found out that he was guilty, you will have to, that was the way of doing it, you know. So I think that's, you know, he just mentioned the stoning part, but, you know, not to clarify why it was done, and, you know, because of the to send a message to the other criminals, you know, to send fear in, because they see the actual capital punishment being carried out, and that's I think that's that's the message that the scripture wanted to send. You know, the part about who is guilty and who is innocent, that's a different thing. But once you've been ascertained that you are the one that committed the crime, that's why they did it. You know, to prevent people from going down the road. That was the message.
Okay.
Good point.
All right, Mr. Gumbs?
Yes, Lester.
Okay. On to the next. Caller, go right ahead.
Thank you for your
Oh, okay.
contribution.
Looks like that person. Okay, here's another one. 849. Caller, go right ahead. Oh, okay. Seems as though he didn't. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Mr.
Hi,
McMahon.
good morning, Mr. McMahon. How are you doing
Yes,
this morning?
I'm good. I'm good. I am wondering if, since we're at the position now where there's even more outrage at what has been happening, if it's not time to do something different. I don't think we should abandon or we should rule out any prescriptions at this point, including the more extreme ones. I know, for instance, Greg has this idea that, well, if we had more guns, crime would actually go down because people would have be able to defend themselves more. Incidentally, it's interesting that I think it's Finland and
Switzerland.
Sweden.
Switzerland.
Sweden. They have.
Everyone has a gun at home.
About 1 in 4 have. Or, no, I think it's Norway. Norway has 1 in 4, and it's pretty much the same thing in Sweden. And in Finland, it's even more. I think it's 1 in 3 persons have a gun. Yet their crime stats are extremely low. Okay, so that might give credence to Greg in a strange way, right? But the point I'm making is you can't rule out anything at this point because the numbers are reaching really alarming proportions that something different, emphasize different, has to be done. And I'm wondering, we know that there's this talk that hanging do not deter crime. Having capital punishment and executions do not deter the criminal. But it's in the range of our responses. And one thing we can try is say that anybody who is found guilty of a crime in the next 12 months period is going to automatically face the death penalty. In other words, we're not removing the moratorium on the death penalty. We're just doing it for 1 year to see if it has an effect, because you have to try different things. Okay?
I like your thinking.
Huh?
I like your thinking.
Yeah, just for 1 year. Anybody who is found guilty of a murder, the sentencing is automatic.
Yeah, and beyond the shadow of a doubt. So, you know, remove the bleeding heart arguments that some of these people have about, are you sure they did it?
Just for 1 year and see what effect it has. You know, that's one of the things I think we should really try. Okay, because we can't just be doing the same thing. I mean, another symposium, the tint, stop and search, those things should have been ongoing anyway.
And I think it's important to point out, there was a caller who called earlier and was saying that, you know, on the team unity, the crime was lower. But the thing is, I'm always, and I know me and you spoke about this before, Ira, I'm always a champion, like you, of using novel approaches to solve certain problems. And
you have to.
Yeah, and I felt like at the time when they were paying people to not do the crime, my thing was, well, you can't put a price on all these lives. You can't put a price on the lives.
Well, how you say it is pay them to not do the crime. You gave them employment.
Yeah.
And you open up access for resources.
Yes.
So.
But my point is, no, but wait. My point is, the point I wanted to make was, on one level that was a pretty novel approach, but on the other level it is not sustainable. So we have to become equally novel in coming up with, like what you just said. We have to find sustainable novel things to try rather than unsustainable ones.
Is suggesting that we throw law and order out the door and implement something that. What you said, Mr. McMahon?
No. It's not. The hanging is on the book still, right? It's just that we don't.
Hanging is still on. Hanging is still within our
So
constitution.
what I'm saying is, and I don't believe in capital punishment generally.
So what are you saying?
But the situation demands some kind of different approach. And I'm saying that just for 1 year, let's see if there is in fact a deterrent effect.
Okay, you're saying just for 1 year,
punishment.
just for 1 year, do what?
Anybody who commits a murder and is found guilty, the capital punishment, the hanging is mandatory for 1 year. So anybody going forward for 1 year, anybody who commits a murder and they're caught, they're found guilty.
He looks dubious.
No, because Mr. McMahon is talking, but that's a lot of legality behind it. It sounds simple for you to say, but that's...
It's on the books, isn't it? It's just that we don't carry it out, isn't it?
Mr. McMahon, when you go to a court, it's on the Constitution, but it's the interpretation that the court would give based on the fact that the Privy Council has already given its judgment and how it should be applied. You understand? You can't just on that basis without more just deviate from it. So they would have to have some sort of amendments to be done.
Wait, hold on a minute. You're saying that the Privy Council has essentially can override our laws?
Mr. McMahon, listen to what I'm saying before you before you suggest something otherwise. I'm saying currently as our laws stand, the capital punishment is still part of our constitution, could be applied. But courts interpret the law. The courts interpret the law. The highest court of appeal for us is the Privy Council. And based on how the law has been interpreted, the application of the of hanging is one that the interpretation, it has to be the worst of the worst crime. So unless you're going to do significant legal changes to do what you're suggesting, it won't be that easy.
Right. So basically what you're saying, if we amend the law or pass a law in Parliament to permit that, it's possible. Remove all the ambiguities that allow for different interpretations by the Privy Council.
And you're suggesting that a law be put in place just for a year. You're giving the law a timeline.
No. You don't have to say for a year in the law, You just put it in the law. And I'll see what happens. And if after a year it doesn't make a difference, well, you remove it. If after a year it does make a difference, then you keep it. Right? Because you don't have to, because if after a year it's working, then we're not going to have anybody facing the hangman's noose. Right? They stop. And the other thing is that I was speaking to somebody who felt, and I agree, that not enough effort was put into dissecting, analyzing and dissecting
but
what happened.
You are also suggesting that, let's say your suggestion, everything in a perfect world, everything comes out and, persons are being hung and stuff like that. You're suggesting, one, that would be a deterrent. The fact that persons would be hung, that would be a deterrent. Also, you're coming to an end point, but you haven't even gone through the process yet. First, you'll have to have enough evidence to convict that individual to be guilty of the crime.
If they were guilty, if they were proven guilty, you're not going around the court system. They have to be found guilty.
Yeah, which is my point. Then, sometimes, how what we'll have to analyze, therefore, is persons. How many persons who have committed crimes, how many of these committed crimes have been solved? In the sense, when I say solved, I use the definition of solved by saying it's been through the court system and properly adjudicated, whether guilty or not guilty. How many of these actually go through finding the persons who have committed these crimes.
He makes a good point. He makes a good point, Ira.
Different argument, though, Azard.
Yeah, but
That has to do with something that we spoke about.
then we should be able to. Then the issue is being able, when a crime has happened, to be able to find those perpetrators of the crime and to have solid evidence to prosecute. Because without that aspect, you can't reach to your end point.
But Azard, that is what we spoke about before when we were saying that if we're not getting results, then people should be accountable and either resign or be fired or something and let somebody else do. In other words, if people are tasked with doing what you say, right? Making sure that the perpetrators are caught and go through the justice system and so on. If that is not happening, well, it means that the people who are tasked with that are not getting the results, not functioning, and so you try another set.
Yeah, and that is
Right?
fine. That is fine.
Argument.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that your position is an end result position. It's at the end.
It is.
So you still have to go through.
But Azard, the hope is though, if people know that on the books there is something that says if you commit a crime, you are definitely going to be hanged, right? Because it will be mandatory. It will be a mandatory sentence, essentially. You can't pussyfoot
and this goes towards a fundamental. This goes.
That the crime stops.
Yeah, and this goes towards a fundamental. Mr. Mama, hold on, you keep going and going, and this goes towards a fundamental debate whether or not the death penalty is a deterrent for crime. And many persons, and all I'm saying, if you support that view, yes, the death penalty, and you're saying the death penalty will deter crime, that's an end result. You understand? That's after you go through the whole process and you are found guilty. I'm saying there need to be greater detection, greater evidence presented to reach to that end point. So we need to fix the steps before, because even if you have that as the end point, you still have to reach there. And if the steps are broken to reach there, that goal or your outcome, no one is going to bother with that, because at the end of the day, if persons aren't being held accountable, then they have nothing to account for.
But as we've been saying that, I've said that before, right? What we're trying to establish here, right, is that, or put it this way, if one or even two persons are deterred by something like this, wouldn't it be worth it? Wouldn't even one life that is saved be worth it? And that is what we're trying to establish. I deep down, I don't believe in capital punishment. I am not sure that it deters crime. But what we want to do is see if it does. This is what I'm saying. We have to do things differently. You have to try something different.
I think, listen, Mr. McMahon, all I'm suggesting, right, because I think you are missing the point that I am making. If someone commits a crime and believes that he or she will not be caught, they're not concerned about what the sentence is going to be, because in his or her mind, the only thing that they're going to concern about is whether or not they're going to be caught. If they feel they're not going to be caught, the punishment for being caught could be great. But if they are more, if they feel certain that they're not going to be caught, they're not going to care about the punishments. I'm saying we have to do better when it comes to detection, evidence, and those sort of the things.
But of course, nobody is arguing that. I'm not arguing against that. But I am saying...
all I'm saying is that before you reach number 5, you have to improve number 1. Because you have to move from 1, 2, 3, 4.
I disagree.
We have to get better.
Because what we're trying to do is determine the deterrent effect of this. Right?
We have to get better. We have to get better at DEI. Detection, evidence, and interdiction. I just made up that, actually.
Yeah.
Seriously,
I thought you were making a play based on what's going on.
But detection, evidence, and interdiction.
Yes. But I guess
what I'm saying is that what my proposal does not negate the steps you're thinking of what should come before.
But your proposal, how you're bringing your proposal is suggesting that once it's applicable, easily applicable, then crime will just go down.
We want to see if it does. It's something different.
I think if people have a fear of being caught and prosecuted, that in itself would be a greater deterrent than what you're suggesting.
But I agree, but we're in a situation right now where we do not have that detection rate. I think.
And if you can't detect, and Mr. McMahon, that's what I'm saying. If you don't have greater detection and prosecution, then no one is going to worry about the end result, because there are steps that must be taken before you reach there. So if you don't, if you
with certainty, because as I said, any additional thing that might make a proposed murder.
Okay, let me make it very simple.
Mr. McMahon,
let me make it very simple. Let me make it very simple. If your mother says to you, you're going to get 12 lashes with the stick if I find out you did it, and there's no way that you believe that your mother is going to find out that you did it, do you think you're going to be fearful of the lashes with the stick?
No.
Okay, and that's the point I'm making.
But somebody else who don't want to take the chance of being found out because
and Mr. McMahon, that might be 1 out of 10, because look, the gun laws is different. People are still housing
but even if it's
guns.
even if it is 1 out of 10 Kortensia, at least that's somebody's life that can be saved.
Yeah, but I don't think people
One
even
out of
look.
10, at
See,
least
Kortensia made the point. The gun laws have been
try different things.
harsher, but people are still going on with the guns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not saying no.
Another call joined. Wait.
Different. You try it.
Yeah.
There's no harm in trying it.
Yes, go ahead. I have another call just joined. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I get what Mr. McMahon is saying. I think he just saying, put it on the book. And like Kortensia just said, the gun laws has been increased, but then you wouldn't it's gonna work until you carry it out, because then you put things on the books, but then they're not implemented. So to have it on the books and it's not being carried out, it's really a waste of time. Because then you can't. So have they caught anyone with any gun since the gun law has been
just recently, Ms. Rogers.
But what I'm saying too, right?
Okay, they caught someone. Have the case tried yet?
No, they just laid a charge on them. Yeah.
Okay, but then when the case is tried, then we'll see if that penalty really was implemented, because that's the only way these things can work.
But do you really think they're afraid of that? When they would have made up in their mind, as Azard has said, and the fact that you know that they can't find you guilty, although they would have found it on you.
But not even that simple thing, because...
But how can you find me not guilty if you find it on me?
No, I wasn't saying that. Listen what point that I was making was the fact, not if somebody finds something on you. I'm going further than that. I'm saying we have to increase detection, we have to increase evidence, we have to increase prosecution before you even think that.
I understand exactly what Azard is saying, because then we have a whole lot of unsolved murder. A whole lot for years. Years gone unsolved, and will never get solved, because number one, when you got a crime scene in thinking to put a piece of thing, the police just stand there, tell you, stay back, and they don't. You never see them collecting nothing to say, let me collect this may look like a little evidence. Let me tell you, when you got a crime scene here in America, even if it's a cigarette butt on the ground, they're picking up that cigarette butt. If the stone looked like it were overturned, they're picking up that stone. No matter what it looked like, a piece of grass, they're going to pick up that grass and say, well, this grass don't belong here. This piece of bush come from a certain place in a certain part. Man!
Cleo?
He'll think it. All I do is tell you, stay back. You never see them collecting the evidence from outside.
Cleo?
Because I don't think they have that ability.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's what they need. They need to learn these things. Maybe they need to go get some proper training in collecting evidence in trying to solve these murders.
Okay, Cleo, let's switch gears to more romantic things now. I have something here for you. It was just delivered.
Yes, sir.
It was just delivered to me. I'm supposed to read it to you.
Ooh.
To my love, Mrs. Cleo Rogers, happy anniversary. When you are by my side or driving beside me like you are now, this beautiful and memorable day has been carved into my mind. A precious moment in time when our lives become defined. Let's rejoice and celebrate our love and our bond. I cherish what we have, and with my heart I respond. This journey of life is so sweet. With you by my side, my smile radiates with each passing stride. Whether 1 or 1,000 journeys we take, with you by my side I feel alive and awake. My soul is filled with bliss, due to the love that we share. I promise you, my dear, I will always be there.
Aww.
To the stars and the heavens, our anniversary I shall proclaim. My love for you burns like the sun with an infinite flame. Thank you for 37 years, and I'm looking forward to the next 37 years beside you. Love forever. Your husband, Theophilus Rogers. Who's cutting onions?
Y'all are going to cry.
Wow, that's so sweet.
Yes. You know, Cleo gave...
So Cleo, are you literally sitting beside him while he's driving? Where'd she go? Cleo gonna cry. Cleo.
She gonna cry with you.
Cleo. Oh, Cleo left us hanging. Oh, that's so sweet.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, because imagine you're there, you're not expecting all of that, but all of that's happening.
And the thing about it, Cleo called in, Cleo had her, and they say, wow, Cleo won this now.
Her husband won up big time.
And then the husband comes and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because first, when I got it from the girl, I thought, I said, but he said, no, this is from her husband.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yes.
Oh boy. Well, Cleo, my eyes water up for you a little bit too. Okay, so I understand that you're going and cry now. So you enjoy your 37 years, my dear.
So it's Theo and Cleo.
Azard, oh yeah,
it's
right.
Theo and Cleo.
Theo and Cleo,
yeah, that was very touching.
Yeah.
And wonderful anniversary to both of you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's we gotta take a break, but there was a call just now. Okay, let's take this quick break and come back.
Okay.
How about
yes, no problem.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
TVC Insurance Company Limited. We care about your investment. Guarantee you peace of mind. The best team in the business. Guarantee you peace of mind. No other company will guarantee you peace of mind. Together we'll succeed and guarantee you peace of mind. TVC Insurance Company Limited, where you get more coverage for less.
Summer is heating up with CIBC Caribbean. Enjoy a sizzling hot cart summer when you spend with your CIBC Caribbean Visa credit card. Lucky winners will receive prizes including hotel day passes, staycations, dinners, spa days, cruises, and much, much more. Each time you spend $200 or more, you'll be entered for your chance to win. Apply today for your CIBC Caribbean Visa credit card. Terms and conditions apply. Visit www.cibcfcib.com/hotcardsummerskn. Promotion ends August 31st, 2024. I ain't got no hurricane safety tips now. Well, Skeleton got, and together we can weather the storm. So, check this. Prepare for power outages. Charge devices before a storm strikes. Develop a plan in the event that electricity goes. Learn where and how to shut off your home's electricity. Ensure that there are no trees in the lines near you. If you are experiencing low voltage, turn off the main switch in your home. Do not touch wet appliances. You feel only Nima can give safety tips? Well, Skeleton can too. So be sure to stay tuned to Skelec's Facebook page and website for updates about the outages and restoration. For emergencies, our contact numbers are 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. I repeat, 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. Remember, with Skelec's hurricane safety tips, together we can weather the storm.
Reliable and responsible. Skelec is here for you. Powering our community.
Portsmouth's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Portsmouth's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less with our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
And we are back. It's 9:16. AZ has to leave.
Yeah, I have to leave. So and the discussion was so, but I hope that everyone has continue to have a wonderful day. Please keep safe. I also want to say congratulations to the Old Road footballers winning their match last evening. So. And again, condolences to Anthony Morgan's family, for the passing. He's being laid to rest later today, Anthony Morgan of Half-a-Tree. Sympathies to family.
Okay. Caller, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
One more thing. What I spoke about there was essentially a stick approach, right? But there's a carrot approach that we haven't really looked at yet. I'm speaking to someone who was intimately involved in the what we know as the Pay for Peace program. They lamented the fact that the government has not really tried to figure out exactly how the program worked. Right? Yes, we know all the talking points about it. Paying people to behave themselves, and on the face of it, it's a bad idea. It sends the wrong message to young people that you can misbehave and get paid for it. So overall, it's to me, it was a bad policy. But there are those who feel that it worked. I don't think enough analysis went into it.
Well, in broad terms, it did work. It's just
in raw numbers.
It's kind of a backhanded compliment because you're paying people to behave themselves. And while it's novel in the sense that it's a brute practical, it's like a brute practical tactic that worked. But if you have to really look at it, I mean, you're like, yeah, this works, but is this something that we really want to be doing? Because first off, it's not sustainable, right?
Right, that's correct.
But at the same time, like I said before, you can't put a price on a life saved, right? So there's that.
Apart from can't put a price on a life saved, which is one of the arguments for the stick approach too. Even if it's one person's life saved, it would have been a good idea.
Exactly.
But quite apart from that, I think we badly needed some respite from what was happening. Just like now, the trajectory is not good, and we badly need some time while other approaches are tried. Okay? We need a respite. So what I'm saying is, and the Prime Minister in his speech, I guess you heard, which you might have heard just last night.
No, I didn't.
Okay, right. Yeah. He made reference to the symposium that is supposed to be coming up. And, well, he was a bit tongue-in-cheek in it with it, but I hope it is followed through. He was inviting the opposition to be part of it. Okay?
So you're saying he was tongue-in-cheek with that? You don't think he was?
Well, I looked at it, and it was an impression I got. It might have been a false impression, but I'm assuming, we could only assume that he's sincere with that. But in doing that...
I'm not going to hold my breath.
Well, in doing that, though, like I said, I spoke to somebody who was intimately involved in the program, and they have not consulted on it. I mean, we've heard all kinds of things about paper bag leaving National Bank and going to Development Bank, etc. So on the face of it, it's terrible. Okay? It's sensational and so on. But the inner workings of the program, I don't think the current government spent enough time looking at. Yes, overall it's a bad idea, like I said, but if it worked even to the extent that it saved some lives, then at least it gives us time, buys us some time.
I just thought of something. How about those people that were a part of that program? What if you compel them to do training in trades and vocation training?
Well, they claim that was being done, but I don't think it was really in any structured, institutionalized kind of way, right? I suggested that they could have been incorporated in the regular STEP and so programs, but they said it wasn't. It wasn't feasible in light of, the kinds of gang stuff that was involved. But the point I'm making is, right, and I suspect a lot of the success of that program was actually due to the fact that it happened during COVID, when security was tighter generally. Okay? But what I'm saying is I don't think enough investigative work was done, analysis was done, to look at exactly what went on in the program. If there were good elements to it, keep them.
But don't we know, don't we implicitly know what went on? And when one of the overarching concern is that it's not sustainable. You can't just be paying people money.
Well, apart from this, that fact, there was the oversight question too. There was no oversight.
Yeah, that
right?
too. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So what I'm saying is all those things needed to be cleaned up, because what we want is an immediate stop to this thing, right? And that's a carrot approach to it. Continue as is for the time being. As obnoxious as it sounds, as bad as it sounds, this pepper piece thing is we have to get control of this thing, right? And so while with the other solutions, more permanent solutions are found, okay, we at least buy us the time, the respite to do those things, okay? I think what I'm getting at is that this is crisis. I don't think that the government has looked at it as a crisis up to now. Right? I strongly suspect that they felt that it's going to eventually peter out, and so there was a more of a laid-back approach to it.
You realize that this is July. You realize that at this rate we're going to be rivaling pre-Team Unity annual murder numbers.
Yeah,
if this keeps up, this is what, 20 now?
That should wake up people. Yeah. I mean, that should wake them up to being. There's these, and the thing is, right? Okay, we mightn't have anything for the next couple of weeks and so on, and we feel that things are okay again. We can breathe again, and then something else happens. We can't do like this.
Listen. Even if we have one more for the rest of the year, that's a horrendous number. 21? That's crazy.
Yeah, we don't have the
and
population for that.
We have to realize that it is. I don't think everybody realizes that it is a horrendous number, to use your word. Okay? And so that is why I'm saying that we have to try different things. We can't just continue along and hope that it's going to eventually go away. Right? I mean, it's been 2 years now, and pretty much the same things have been tried on amnesty. We've increased the penalties for things. And by the way,
let me ask you a question.
Going to jail for a gun.
Huh?
Going to jail for a gun is different, very much different from getting your neck broken for a murder. So you can't say because a gun amnesty or they have not paid any attention to the draconian penalties for gun crime, that you can extrapolate that to saying that, well, they don't believe that getting hung if they're caught, totally different level of risk. That's what I'm getting at.
But the fact that the gun charges now, Mr. McMahon, are like life sentences. Don't you think people should have some kind of fear to not harbor or house any kind of illegal ammunition and firearms?
You would think, but similarly, don't you think that if somebody know that they're going to be executed, that would also serve as a deterrent?
You remember the 7 gentlemen from Australia that took all of those drugs into Bali? Don't you think they knew that? Don't you think they know the laws of Bali if you're caught with drugs? And they still did it? Have you ever heard of that case?
There are some people who would risk everything.
And then eventually the 2 that were the ringleaders that were going to face the brunt of it, which is the firing squad, which they did face eventually, they wanted their sentences reduced to life, like the others.
Well, of course, nobody wants to be executed.
But they knew, Mr. McMahon, they knew, so why do it still?
I will welcome the other caller.
Why do people get involved in drugs in the first place?
I don't understand, Mr. McMahon. When everybody sees the end result of these things. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
I never said anything about stoning. I need to mention that. It's Azard who mentioned about stoning, not me.
Okay,
As a matter of fact, to the best of my knowledge, only adultery I know where stoning was recommended. But for murdering people, I don't think any method of execution was given in the Bible. It was left up to the choice of the judges.
Okay.
Or whoever was carrying it out.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Also, I would like to say that, contrary to Cleo, 1 Timothy 1 does say, the law is good if used lawfully, and the law is made, not was, but the law is made. Talking about the law of God, the Bible that is, was made for people who are lawless, people who are disobedient to the Bible. The Bible says that is the ceremonial law really that is applicable for today, that those ceremonial aspects of the law, they are still applicable today, and they are made for the lawless. Not for those who are obedient to the word of God. And the law was talking about the Bible, the law of God, and how it says certain crimes should be dealt with as is applicable. And lastly, I would like to say, according to John Lott, Crime Prevention Resource Center, when capital punishment is done regularly and you're sure it's going to be done to you, and it's done quickly, in those places, in those areas, it is a great deterrent. And murder is a very great deterrent. You see, when people come with studies that it doesn't deter crime, murder, it is because in those areas the law is applied very sporadically, very infrequently, and many times it's just on the books. So a lot of people who do that, they're very dishonest because they're not going to areas where it is done frequently and quickly. John Lott Crime Prevention Resource Center did that study as well, and shows in those areas it is very effective. But that's not the reason for why it should be done. The reason why it should be done is because it is justice according to the Bible. Man was created in the image of God, and the Bible let you know. You kill someone who is created in the image of God. The justice for that is to take the person's life.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. In a sense, again, in a sense, you know, if, as is, I think it's Islamic law, if you steal, you get your hands cut off or something like that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine something like that applied here?
Yeah.
You know, it's unfathomable, right? To us, it's a cake. It's brutal. It's cruel and inhuman punishment. Okay, but so
is the murder. No, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm just saying, I think sometimes we lose perspective when we start misdirecting our compassion,
But this is for stealing. This is for stealing. Again, you would think that punishment should fit the crime. Why not make somebody work for what they stole?
Yeah.
Right? Twice over or something like that. But in this particular question, it's going right back to the basics, an eye for an eye, essentially, because that's what capital punishment is, right? You kill people to show that killing people is wrong, but you kill them, but you still kill, right? There's a contradiction in terms of that. Right?
And I'm not so much you know how people like to say, we shouldn't have capital punishment because it doesn't deter. You know what my thing is? Punishment needs to be meted out. I don't care about the deterrence so much. You did so and so, you're going to be punished. Somebody else does it, they're going to be punished. At some point, I think people are going to get the message. So I don't think the hang-up should be about, I don't know if that's a deterrent. No. Something wrong was done, and we proved beyond a measure of doubt that you did it. You should be punished.
Yeah. And you realize the Jamster.
Yeah.
For some people, I think, and probably you and I are among those, who would regard a life sentence in jail as worse punishment than death.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not that we shouldn't look at the type of punishment and be strategic in how we choose to punish, because I guess it's just like a child. If what works is taking away their phone or not letting them watch TV, if that works as a deterrent, sure, use it, as opposed to spanking or something like that. You see, we don't. There's no one size, I think, fits all. There's no. We can be innovative in our solutions, and that's the point I was making this morning. Just do something different, man. Don't keep doing the same thing and expect that the result's going to change. Do something different. Even if it doesn't work, then you try something else.
Okay.
Right? But do something different.
Okay, great.
All right.
Yeah, let's take another call here. I was about to go to the break. 9:33. Caller, go right ahead. Oh, no. Seems the caller dropped off.
I was looking as Mr. McMahon was talking about the laws, and I see in Iran, on the first occasion, amputation of the full length of 4 of your fingers on the right hand. Nuh-uh. It's not worth it. That's not worth it. They just leave your thumb and
those people.
Nothing else. They could. In Arabia, though, they cut off the hand, like Mr. McMahon said. No.
Those people are barbarians. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you get floggings for you get floggings and amputation of the hands for not only for stealing but for adultery as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
Call go right ahead.
Hello, morning.
Hey, morning.
Azard in the studio?
No, he's not.
No, he left.
Oh, I wanted to ask a legal question. Probably you could answer though. The penalties for gun possession was just increased, and I was wondering if somebody gets with a gun, let's say for instance last year, and they're waiting trial, and now that they increase the penalty, can the judge give the person the maximum based on the fact that the person was waiting trial before the laws was passed? So can the judge give the person the maximum while for a crime that happened before it was increased? I was just wondering.
That's a good question. We remember.
We'll have to leave that one for Azard, you know, because I don't myself no jumps.
If he listening, he could call in and answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Once he went to court, you know. But I will be sure to let him know about the question, and he can answer it for you. So you want to make sure that the laws that are in now, you want to ask if they apply to a crime that was committed before they were implemented, right?
Before.
Okay.
Right,
We'll ask the question for you, but I won't be able to answer. I'll let Jamsi speak for himself.
Yeah, that's interesting, though. That's a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if interesting. I wonder if the judge has the discretion to say, well, okay, seeing
that happened before.
Yeah, I'll give you a break because.
But what if they want to set an example?
Yeah.
That although you were there, it was implemented while you were there. So now that your case has come up, that's what we have to do. Oh my gosh. Crime doesn't pay, guys. We are told that all the time. So let us be mindful of the choices that we make in life. I know sometimes when we get to that juncture, our minds doesn't work the way it should, but we need to step back and think before we do certain things.
Clearly, those aren't things you need to be thinking about. You know, I mean, who wants to be thinking maybe you're in the jail cell or you're out on bail and you're worrying about, it certainly doesn't pay.
I'm very cautious with my life, so I always think about things that can get me where I don't want to be. So I think almost every day, like I don't want to do that because this is how this will end up. Yeah, I wish everybody. I don't know, but I wish everybody would think like me, so that we can have, I don't know, a better, or maybe I know, a better society where we don't have much people going to prison for things that are illegal.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a quick break. It's 9:36.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Feel the magic happening. Campari. Taste.
Something incredible happens when Campari is mixed just right. Like Campari and orange juice poured over ice. Taste it. Try it tonight. Bitter, sweeter, better. Campari. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
And we are back.
And that's sad though. I was just learning that they had a fatal traffic accident last night around 11 p.m. or something like that on Wellington Road.
Oh my God, Wellington Road.
Okay, folks, we have to be careful. I hope that person didn't fall asleep at the wheel.
So
I'm hoping. I don't know
so
the
what
details
happened?
of it. Hold on.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me pull it up.
Wellington Road, that's a road I frequent a lot because that's to and from home.
Yeah, I'm not sure. For This is not.
Wow. It's never, it's never.
Hold on.
Police investigating fatal road accident on Wellington Road. The police are investigating a fatal road accident involving motor vehicle P6077 that occurred on Wellington Road sometime after 11 p.m. on Wednesday, July 24th, 2024. Authorities have confirmed that the accident resulted in a fatality. Circumstances surrounding the accident remain unknown at this time. MCN will have more as information becomes available. Investigations into the accident are ongoing. Reporting for MCN, I'm Malcolm.
Okay, so yeah, that's really.
That's sad.
Really, that's a really information lean bulletin. So we don't know if is it the driver who died? Is it the passenger who died?
That's
is
the
it,
thing.
Is it
we don't know who
another
it is.
driver, another passenger, or is the pedestrian? So we don't know. Caller, go right ahead. Okay, let's go on to the caller. Go right ahead.
Yeah, Mr.
Hey.
I you know you run in the boat now. McMahon and the bag we got your personal number, no? And come on, man. People out there, they ain't got no conscience, And culture, they say the same thing. Hear the man culture. Yesterday, Jamster, you play thing with Doyle.
Yesterday? Not yesterday. That was Friday, I think.
No. Sometime in the week, you play one hero name when he does things.
Oh, well, no,
Yeah.
that was.
I want to tell Doyle, right? Don't open no can of worm. Because up to now, Love Valley, we cannot understand where $49 million gone. Man, come and tell us. They can't remember. When you got supporting documents, we a man, come on, let me leave them things. Let me leave them things. Otherwise, we're going to get into these things. It's not nice. That was a big talk in his office for about 3 days, The man will never get into your head. If he forget he was there and doing these things too. Come on, fool poor people. We fed up right, I want to say to the country as a whole and these young boys, we ain't going to tolerate this thing, man. No, man. He mashing us up bad. I want to say to the chief of police, just what you do yesterday, we want you to do that more often. We ain't just put you there to just in a air conditioned office. You, as the commissioner, could have told us the things on the street. You ain't gonna be there. Use the office and use the media. What you do yesterday, we want to hear you more. Me ain't gonna back down in thinking, me gonna tell you how I see it. Because I know, if that fellow near Robert Bletcher was around here, we couldn't get them nonsense here. We couldn't get them nonsense. The young man, when he was thinking about supporting the social security, go look at job and support the social security. I have a problem with these things. And you who driving law and order, say things more, come to the country more. We want to hear you more. You're the commissioner of police. And I ask for you all to step up a lot of things. Because this gun business ain't easy. And the mashing of the country. I tried to yesterday. People in ships who know me, who in the ship, who know me, come looking for me. Why now we're going on and sink it? I just kind of put it as young. Because I know we are going to paint it black. You understand? But we need you all in public office to step up. Because who see what right is right saying if I come to bother go the country? Go the country! I don't deal. Kortensia.
Hi, John Brown.
The country going to love you. They're loving you half more than me. Have a good morning.
Oh, boy. Thank you, John Brown. You have a good one, too.
Wow.
I know. That'll make me cry like Cleo.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would really, it would really be nice. I guess we're gonna have to listen to the WINNFM news, maybe the midday news to find out more about that accident. Caller, go ahead.
Yeah.
I am back again. Good morning, my brother Jam Dong. You sound like Sonny Liston and Muhammad Ali. And now Mike Tyson. Let me ask you guys this. Now, if a lot of those criminals out there who murdering innocent people, if a lot of them get to learn how it happens here when they catch somebody guilty of killing someone and they put them in 1840, the kind of treatment they get when they go in 1840, don't you all think a lot of them will come here? They will come here because if the punishment for when they commit them murderous crime in their country, it's chop off one hand on one side and chop off the foot on the other side. They're going to move from there. They're going to stay there. They're going to go where the punishment is like white boy trying to bust a man's head with a cotton candy. So therefore, if people don't want the hand chop off, they ain't going to go Singapore. They will go in another country where they could commit a lot of crime with the same one hand. So I am for this. And I'm following what the Bible says. If you shed someone's blood innocently, yours should be shed. Why when they don't kill people, mongoose can't go in the hole in peace? Eh? They can't live in the cavefield, they're running up and down the place. Fowl can't sleep on the roofs, and the house and up in tree. Why they don't stand up since they're bad? They're playing with the laws around here, man. They're only going in parliament to pass laws on people and abuse one another in there. And when they come out, they're not enforcing the law. Because the amount of things, criminal activity, happen in front of police and in front of them in parliament. In front of them, and they're just smiling and laughing, they ain't doing nothing. Because it's not affecting the pay. If they're working, if you're getting big money, work for it. Just a couple months ago, they increased a big Bamanku salary. And take away the small money from people who need it, not people who want it. People who need it, they take it away. And so they're going to carry it up high in the air. Carry it up high in the air, they bring it low down the ground. And while they get a big Bamanku salary and going from plane every minute, they don't have no time in the country to see what's going on and solve the problem. They don't care. Anyway, thank you guys. Good people. Keep it up.
Okay, thanks.
I will never want from you on Win FM.
Okay. Thanks,
Okay,
Culture.
then,
Okay, have a great day.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah, I would really like to find out more about that accident. I just hope it's not anybody I know. I mean, because, you know,
I don't know the vehicle number.
I don't know the number either. And I was thinking, you know, the thing with Sandra was, I remember when I heard, I was, the person who told me, I said, I hope it's not anybody I know. It was my wife. I said, and then she told me, I said, oh God, that was it. Sandra, this is the person I bought. You remember the night when I went over to agricultural exhibition to get something to eat? She was the one I got the food from. Yeah, and I know her from Mac Night, you know.
Okay.
So, yeah. It's never nice when somebody,
passes on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially by violent means, you know. So, I just want to send some condolences to her family and friends. Wow. Yeah. I heard some other stuff, but I can't talk about it.
What is life, though? What is life? And as I implore you not to.
Yeah.
What is life? Life is just, I mean.
Yeah.
And as you said, right? July is not yet over, and we're at that big number. We're in double digits, and in a big double digit. So what is to come?
Yeah, I don't like where we are now. 20 deaths
we're too small for that. I'm not condoning that bigger. It's okay for bigger places. No, not at all. But we are too small for that. Too small. And as Mr. Brantley says, when one of the countries in the Federation mourn, the other mourns as well.
Yeah.
Because he sent his condolences as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, Mr. McMahon says bring back the hangman, etc., but it doesn't. People aren't afraid to lose their life. Imagine you don't necessarily have to be hung to lose your life, because being locked away for life That's losing your life too. You have no privileges. You have to stay in one space for the remainder of your life. You do the same thing over and over. Quite agree. Most of us do the same thing over and over every day because we go to work, we go home, we laundry, we fold up, etc., etc. But you have your freedom. And there you don't have freedoms. Somebody's watching you all the time. You have to watch your own back, because what if tempers flares and things happen? It's just a lot. You're not in your own physical space. You don't get to make your own choices. Choices are made for you because you gave up that freedom. But I wish the world was a bit nicer.
The Loop News, they have a story here on the Prime Minister's address last night. St. Kitts and Nevis PM says country has a serious gang problem. Residents and visitors of St. Kitts and Nevis can expect to see a heightened police presence as the government boosts efforts to quell the rising murder toll. In a national address last evening, Prime Minister Drew stated that the heightened police presence was among several initiatives approved by the National Security Council during their Wednesday meeting to curb criminal activity. Wasn't this something that was talked about before? What's his name? The chief of police. I'm sure this was something. Somebody weren't they doing it? I don't understand.
They normally have, but what have I seen? I've seen them do it, because sometimes you're driving coming from Frigate Bay, and you'll just see the pickup go across the road.
But the thing is, there's too much driving around and dry riding. They need to get out the car and maybe peers and walk around,
so people can visibly see them and think twice.
Stop driving around. There has to be an effective middle ground. I see people driving around. That's a joyride. That's an armed joyride. Get out in pairs, different communities, and walk around.
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't understand. That's what they just drive around. They don't do. All they do is drive around. People need to see you.
Well, you don't see some of them walking around?
Not really.
Okay.
I see them. I see a lot of driving around.
Okay.
And I would like to see more walking around.
Okay.
On the beat.
Let me hit the article that's there with the measures that the commissioner said it's going to be in place. Hold on.
And then another thing I've noticed. Sometimes you see. I remember there was a period when we had some RSSPP here, or even when that wasn't going on, and you'd see 4 or 5 of them standing together talking. How does that help? You have 4 police clustered in one area. How about 2, one area, 2, like it was down 4th Street? And I'm looking at that, I'm like, how does that make sense?
Okay.
You're in the square sometimes, and I pay attention to the stuff. They're in the square, you see 4 of them talking. How about 2 people go, you position yourself strategically, maybe at the other end of the square or something. Or everyone standing up the same place talking and not really being vigilant. That makes no sense. I look at how the Secret Service people operate, right? They are always looking and being vigilant. I don't see these guys doing that. They stand around and they're talking to one another and they're on their phone and all this stuff.
Oh boy. So they're being watched. Folks, you're being watched, so be mindful and do what you ought to do to keep us all safe.
I watch them all the time.
But do you ever feel the need to go up and talk to them, or do you feel they're going to take it the wrong way?
Not
and
really.
maybe you might
It's just
be
a job to most of them. They don't really care about crime prevention, and I don't care. That's what I think. I think it's just a job, because I've spoken in the past about me having lapses where I'm doing stupidness, and they just go past me and they don't even say anything, and I'm like, and I would have felt better if someone had said something, and said, hey, your headlights are off or whatever, because it wasn't deliberate. I just forgot to the roadways are so well lit, sometimes you don't even realize your headlights are off, stuff like that. You have a call.
Caller, go ahead.
Caller, go ahead.
Who's going to pay for all these extra police activities?
What do you mean, who's going to pay for
it? I don't think it's going to be any...
How is it extra,
There's no extra cost, per se. I wouldn't say. In fact, maybe maybe might be slightly less if they walk more rather than using gas driving up and down the place. I could make that case.
Yeah, right, but more police is going to be on the beat and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but why is
You
that?
know?
I don't see how that would cost any more necessarily.
Well, just in case that might be. These are questions we need to ask because it ain't just beat alone that is being recommended by people. Security cameras are recommended. That more need to be put down and all these sorts of stuff.
I feel like that's that's great, but I feel like that is an unnecessary cost. That's not going to necessarily redound to anything because the amount of cameras you're going to need, that money is best spent elsewhere. I can see having cameras in strategic and key areas, but not. I mean, what are you going to put cameras everywhere? How much is that going to cost?
That is what people are. That's recommendations I've heard.
I don't think
need
that
to be
makes.
everywhere up and down the place.
I don't think that makes.
So
any
then,
sense.
if we don't have the cameras, then that means we need to increase our police footprint and
Exactly.
hire more officers. Then,
Exactly.
so they can walk around. So we have community. We're not saying the police should walk from here to Sandy Point.
No,
right?
I'm
But
not
at
saying that.
least the officers that are in Sandy Point can come out and walk around and make their presence.
And what I'm saying, I'm not saying you don't drive. Take for example, let's say you're patrolling Wellington Road. Okay, you can park the car somewhere. Maybe you park the car in the. Say there are 3 cops or 4 cops in the car. You park the car just for argument's sake in the bus terminal, and 2 cops they go and they walk around and they observe, and maybe you walk up the block there by one of those streets, walk around. The other one can keep his eye out for stuff. Wellington Road, bus terminal, King Street. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't drive. I'm just saying if you have the car, you don't just drive around. Get out and walk. Interact with people. Make your presence known. And make the criminals think twice.
As you can see, about police in this area and police in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah. But say, I ask that question because it's a lot of, it's more than one thing I've heard being recommended.
I don't
and
see.
everything that I heard recommended, I say, well, who y'all think on paper?
But I don't see that necessarily is going to cost
But
more.
the stuff that are recommended. Okay, Greg, tell us some of the stuff that are recommended, and so we can understand when you talk about payments.
All I recommended is just what the Bible says you should do. And some of it,
Greg,
I've said it this morning.
we have established that that's not going to work right now because of the wickedness of the world that we live
That
in.
ain't going to work. Not necessarily it's going to work.
Okay, well, we have to
know the
wait.
Bible tell me. Well, I know the Bible tell me once you do the commands of God, He's going to bless the place. So it's going to work.
So it's
But
going
the
to work
devil
in
said-
this wicked world that we live in right now, that where wickedness
devil-
outweighs the good.
Repeat?
So it's going to work in the world where wickedness outweighs the good.
Because that's what the Bible said. The Bible said once you do what I say, you're going to be blessed of God.
We know the nation under God is blessed, but Greg, I want to be. I believe in God. I believe in everything He stands for. But
Okay, Greg, hold on. Let me take this other call, cause
Greg, I can't. I don't know if it's
you're
gonna
not
work.
you're not gonna make Jam Down abuse me about you hogging the call. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, he might abuse you about me, but I guess
Go ahead.
just don't engage me, and I could finish in 2 minutes.
Oh, he's gone.
What I'm in listening to the debate just now, it occurred to me. I remember seeing a news clipping or a news item of a training session on drones at the camp, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay? And it occurred to me that was probably one of the most cost-effective ways of surveillance, right? I mean, you're talking about you're seeing more boots on the ground, so to speak, and patrolling and so on, but one guy with a monitor and another guy controlling a drone can surveil a lot more territory than a couple policemen patrolling. So that's probably one of the things to actually look at.
There's actually a paragraph here. This year, the national security budget was increased to 79.3 million and has been used to purchase more police vehicles, establish a drone unit for surveillance, and reestablish the K9 unit. Didn't we always have a K9 unit? This is the kind of stuff I don't understand.
Reestablish.
As usual, we have a tough time. We can always get a project going, but we have a tough time in maintenance.
I don't understand.
Going, and I suppose that might apply to the drone technology as well, right? We're going to start it, and then just like the cameras, somehow it fades away.
Yes.
There got to be more stick-to-itiveness in these things, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay then.
Yes, it's it's like an institutional short attention span. I don't understand it. I always thought we always had. Ever since I was a kid, we had a K9 unit. I didn't realize the K9 unit had been closed at some point. That makes no sense because the drug problem, you could say, reached its peak during the 2000s, early 2000s. Or so you're trying to tell me at some point during that period, we didn't have a K9 unit? That makes no sense. And all that money going on vehicles for people to joyride around and not do anything. Just drive around in air conditioning
But somebody might argue with you and say they are doing something. The fact that they're riding around and looking.
We need a combination of that drone idea is good.
That's an excellent idea. Yeah.
Yes, we need a combination of group patrolling, driving around, and the drone stuff. Yes.
The drone stuff will make. I think that could be a deterrent because then every time somebody thinks about doing something, they're going to be looking up to make sure that nothing's watching them. So the drone idea is an excellent one, and that shouldn't cost us much. How many of those do you think the Federation needs? Because we have to put this Federation-wise.
A lot. I'll leave that to Wussy. That's
a lot.
National security.
So can we not one per village over here? One per village in the Federation.
Hotspots. I think. Well, first you probably start with hotspots.
You know, people get smart when they know this is the hotspot. They're going to move to somewhere else. So it has to be. I think it has to be 24 hours surveillance in the varying communities.
I agree.
So I think it would definitely need one per village.
I agree. And you know, when I see policemen driving around in the pickup trucks and so. I feel like the way it should be done is, for example, I might see you driving across Pond Road. Maybe you say, okay, guys, let's look at Newtown and Pond Road. We go somewhere, drive up, we park up by, let's park up by say 6 of them. We park up by the Smacko parking lot. Okay, 2 of us we're gonna take a walk down to the craft house. We walk around. Another 2, we go down George Street. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you move again.
Yeah.
Then you move again. You drive up by the football field. You do something similar. You walk through. You know, I mean, this is not hard. Not just driving alone.
No, but we start stuff and then we stop it once everything cools off. So we have to.
And then you can have a drone. Hopefully, you could have a drone there and.
Because I was just thinking, how do we protect the officers as well, both the army and the police? Because whilst they're walking, you can still have the drone. So should anything happen, because these ladies and gentlemen, they do not have eyes behind their backs.
Exactly.
So in order to protect them, the drone's above, but they're still their physical presence is still being felt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you coordinate it in such a way that the drone operator knows that guys, let's walk across the street there by the health center, and the drone goes up far enough so that you have a nice
view.
You have a nice bird's eye view, and like, suppose something happens to be going on over on your road, and they can say, well, guys, guys are walking down there by the health center. Maybe you need to go up that road, that first road.
Something's happening over there.
Go up, run up there, and blah blah blah. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it should be coordinated. So. I'm thinking the officers should have some kind of earpiece or something.
Yeah, they have to.
So
because how else would they speak to them?
Exactly.
Because imagine somebody sneaking up on them and the drone operator can't tell them, guys, watch your back or watch your front. 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Nobody tells them anything. So listen. In order to combat it, we'll need to do the investment. So we'll have to bite the bullet and do something to control what's happening in our federation.
Okay, callers, we have to shut it down now. We can continue this tomorrow, all right? I know you guys, we have some calls that are coming in, but it's a little over time and now.
Yeah.
So I am going to wish you a nice day.
Same to you.
And I'm gonna go home and have some breakfast and do some other bad stuff.
Oh boy, be good. Be good.
Okay.
Alrighty, folks. Same time, same place tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put a magnum in the air now.